Hello my friends, Amy Esther here, and I have several chronic illnesses and I have very severe heat intolerance because of those illnesses. And I have been on the hunt everywhere to find products and things that I can use to help me cool down my body. And I'm excited to share with you my review of this thing on my wrist called the Embr Wave that is supposed to help cool your body just being on your wrist like that. So I'm going to share with you the good and the bad, if I like it, if it's working for me. When Embr Wave reached out to me, I was a little skeptical, but also super hopeful that it would work for me because I have such severe heat intolerance, and I know a lot of you guys do too. So first of all, if you guys are new here, I'm Amy Esther. I have several chronic illnesses, including POTS, SIBO, endometriosis, PCOS, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, Hashimoto's disease, lots of things going on. I'm also pregnant. I am 23 weeks pregnant, and when I'm filming this is the beginning of May, which means the hot summer months are coming, my friends, and I have the worst heat intolerance, plus I'm pregnant right now. So this summer I have been dreading because my baby is due in August, which means the biggest pregnancy months I'm having are going to be in the hottest months. And I already have such severe heat intolerance. I've talked about it a lot. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, head over there and follow me there because I talk all about, the day-to-day. And I've talked a lot about my heat intolerance and how sick I get. Like, I cannot go outside in the summer for more than a few minutes without getting severe symptoms. I have a hard time going to anything in the summer. I kind of become a little hermit. I have been on the hunt for anything and everything that will help me stay cool. So this can help with both cold intolerance and heat intolerance. So it can help you when you get too hot. It can also help you when you get too cold. The way it works is you just press this little button here and then you choose cold, which I always choose cold because I have a little bit of cold intolerance in the dead of winter. So I might use it then on the heat setting. But for me, I'm just always using cold. So then you go to cold and you can actually link it to your phone and get on their app and have it sync to their app and go through and get custom settings. But when you get it, it will just work as soon as you get it. It just is on the default settings. For me, I didn't love the default settings, just so you know, so I would recommend getting on the app. But let me just tell you exactly how it works. So the thermal waves stimulate temperature-sensitive nerve endings found just beneath the surface of your skin. The thermal signal is carried through the nervous system to your brain. This influences how you perceive the temperature of your environment. You can feel the thermal waves as come and go. The nerve endings beneath your skin tell your brain the temperature is changing, and your body and mind then have a physiological response so you can feel relief in minutes. So basically, it just gets really cold right here on my wrist, and it signals to my brain that my body's cooling down, and my body actually has a physical response and cools down, supposedly is how it works. Of course, you can go into the app, you can set custom settings. The waves can go faster or harder. They can go longer. You can set it for a long period of time. I think the default setting was only like 5 minutes, which for me was not long enough. So when I went into the app, I made it 30 minutes long. I made the waves go longer because I felt like the waves were really short for me, not quite long enough to help me cool down. And so I definitely made them longer. So let's go through the good and the bad with this product. So let's start with the bad. So for me, the default settings didn't work well enough for me. So when I first got it, I just used the default settings for the first couple of days. I couldn't get the app to work for me, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I couldn't get the app to work, so I just used the default settings for a minute, and it wasn't long enough. Like I said, it was only 5 minutes. I needed it to be longer. The waves seemed super short, but it worked when it worked, if that makes sense. So when it was on and it was really cold, I really did feel like I was cooling down, but it wasn't long enough for me. So then as I got the app, and I had some struggles getting the app to work actually, but it's because my phone is a little older and my husband's phone works great. So my phone, I think the Android that I have is just kind of like outdated and older. And so it wouldn't sync. Well, it would sync, but it wouldn't update. It like kept doing this update thing for me. And so I couldn't get that to work. I did talk to their customer support and they were so helpful. So even though I had some struggles with it, I kind of feel like it's my fault because I have a really old phone. My husband keeps telling me I need a new phone, but it seems to work fine for me, except for these little things when the technology gets a little outdated. But if you have a phone that's a little more updated than mine, then you shouldn't have any problems. And then one more negative thing that I experienced with this, I don't know, I want to call it a watch, but it's not a watch, with this wrist decor, cooling decor, I don't know what to call it. But the one other negative thing is that I had it get really hot sometimes, which obviously had the opposite effect. So it would be cold and I'd be feeling good, and then all of a sudden it'd get really hot and then I'd feel the opposite. And so I talked to their customer support again, their tech support people, and they told me a few things. So first they said that if it touches anything, like if you have a long sleeve shirt on, or like I would just like put it on the couch or something, then it just gets hot. It's like your phone, how it gets hot, right? If it's like, or your laptop, right? If it's not on a flat, good surface. So keeping it away from like my clothes and my side and the couch, like touching things, then it didn't get so hot. And then also the length of time you're using it. So I would just like keep turning it on to cool myself down, but you kind of need to take breaks from it. So that is one negative thing, is it does start to overheat a little bit if you use it for too long. Just like your phone overheats if you use it too long. Well, I don't know, mine does. Maybe I just have a really old phone. It doesn't look old, it looks fancy and nice, but I guess I got it when I graduated college, which was like 4 or 5 years ago. So maybe it's old, I don't know. Anyway, it does overheat when you use it for too much time, but I feel like that's just kind of part of being technology. Like all technology kind of does that. So it doesn't bother me now that I know what it is and why it's doing that, because now I know, okay, I need to take it off and take a little break from it, and then I'll put it back on if I'm still having pretty severe heat intolerance. Yes, so that's all the bad that I experienced with it. The good is that it really does work. Like I really do feel like it cools me down, and I have it on right now, and like I can feel myself feeling cooler. Now, do I think it's a miracle worker that's gonna let me like go out in the sun all day? No. But for example, we went to some family this weekend, and I keep my house very cool because I get such bad heat intolerance. A lot of other people during especially these spring months, they don't turn on their air conditioning because they think they can open the windows and it cools the house down enough, which is fine for them, but for me it's a little too warm. And we had like some stoves on and stuff, and so it just got really warm in there. But wearing this did help me to cool down a little bit. I wouldn't say it like, again, it's not like a miracle worker. Like it didn't like make me go from feeling super hot to like cold, but I definitely cooled down enough that I was able to stay in the room with everyone and be there and just not feel so hot and start to get such severe symptoms because I had this on me, and it could cool me down a little bit. And like I said, I personally like to have it on longer. I think the maximum was 60 minutes for the custom settings. I typically do 30 minutes. I'll do like 30 minutes and then take a little break from it just because I don't want it to overheat or anything. Because again, that has the opposite effect. And so I'll do it for about 30 minutes, and the waves come and go. Like I'm having a wave right now. If you look at it on your phone, it will tell you like wave coming soon, and then it will say when the wave is coming. And you can also adjust the temperature on your phone, which helped me a lot because the default setting, again, it just like wasn't quite enough for me. So I made it as cold as it could go. I think it was like -11, -13, somewhere around there. Made it as cold as it could go. And so during the waves, it gets really, really cold. And that helps me a lot. Like I said, my heat intolerance is pretty severe. So basically as much as I can do, as cold as I can get it, that's what I want. And it really does cool me down. Like it really does. So to me, having this and then maybe having like an ice pack on my neck during the really hot days, or if I want to go outside or something, would be perfect and totally cool me down enough. I, again, don't think I could just like sit in the sun all day, But when I'm just like at someone's house, it's a little warmer than mine, and I start to feel, my symptoms coming on because I'm getting a little overheated, I can turn this on and it really does cool my body down. It's almost like when you have an ice pack on your neck, and it's just on your neck, right? But it kind of cools your whole body down. It's kind of the same idea. And I really was pretty skeptical that it wouldn't work. My husband even told me, he's like, I'm going to try it because that seems like something that sounds like a good idea, but really doesn't work. But I truly think that it does work really well. And I really am liking it. Definitely going to use it this summer, and it's safe for pregnancy. I'm pregnant. Really, all it does is just make it cold right here on your wrist. And because it's electronic, you can recharge it. You don't have to like put it in the freezer. We have like a lake trip coming up with family that I wasn't planning on going to, but I think I'm going to go and just try this. Because I wouldn't have been able to bring my ice pack since I won't have a freezer or anything, but I can charge this and bring it with me on the go, which is another really good positive thing versus having like an ice pack. And then the other really nice thing about it is that, one, it's cute. It's like stylish. It's rose gold, which I love. So it looks really cute on. But then also, like, it doesn't distract. Like when I wear my ice pack, I have this huge ice pack that I put on my shoulders, and I just, like, it just doesn't look very good, right? And I have to kind of explain to everyone what I'm wearing, why I'm wearing it. And so this is kind of nice because it just looks like a watch, honestly. And you do have to put it on the inside. So notice on the inside of my wrist, which is where you want to keep it. It's really cute. It's really stylish. It's really small. And it's not like this big, obnoxious thing that I have to use to cool me down. So I really am liking it a lot. I'm definitely going to keep trying it out. I do think it takes some time to get used to. They kind of said this when they sent it to me, is that the first day you might not see the benefits as much as the more you use it over time. So I've used it for a few weeks now, and I definitely can see now, like, one, I kind of know what settings I like for my body. I know what settings I need at what time. And so I can set those. Of course, I have to use my husband's phone because my phone's not working, but I just know my body better now that I've used it for this long. And it also, it's like you kind of get used to the feeling of it, because at first all it does is feel like really cold right there. But as you just kind of let it go, and the less I think about it, actually, the more I kind of like feel it working, if that makes sense. So anyways, it does take a few weeks to really like see the benefits of it, I think. But after you've used it for a week or two, you just know the settings you like, how it works on your body, how to avoid letting it get overheated, all of those things. And it works really good. And I really, truly am enjoying it, and really have been wearing it, and really will be wearing it this summer. So I do have a link. I will link it in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Check out their website where they share more of like the science behind it, how it works. I'm not like super knowledgeable about that kind of stuff technology wise. I read it, but I was like, I feel like I don't understand enough to explain it, so you can go read it from them. If you have severe heat intolerance like me, I would recommend getting one. It's, again, not a miracle worker, but it does help just a little bit. It just helps those symptoms. I feel like a lot of the times when you have a chronic illness, it's just the small little things that help, and you just find little things at a time, and eventually they add up to make you feel a lot better. And that's kind of how this is. I feel like it's a piece of the puzzle of my heat intolerance journey, and a piece of my heat intolerance kit, which I think I will share with you. If you guys are interested, I'll share with you my whole heat intolerance summer kit that I have been collecting, and I have been trying to find all the best things to help me survive this summer. I will share that with you. Just let me know in the comments below if you're interested in that. But I think this is something to put in your heat intolerance kit. And again, more information, you can look at the link in the description. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys have heat intolerance and you are struggling, if you have any other things that you think I should try, please leave them in the comments below, because I want to know all the things that I can use to beat this heat this summer. So if you have any other ideas for me, let me know. If you guys have tried this, let me know what you think of it. Is it working for you? Do you have any other tips for me on how to make it work better for me? Those kind of things. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I would love to see you on my next video. If you have not subscribed yet to my channel, if you have a heat intolerance and chronic illnesses, you want to be subscribed to my channel. I make videos multiple times a week about life with chronic illness, and currently pregnant, you guys, with all these chronic illnesses. I'm a mother and a wife. I do all the things with chronic illness. And I like to share with you the things that I find that are helpful to me. So if you're interested in learning more about me or going on this chronic illness journey with me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys on my next video.